Welcome back to Nerd Hangout, guys. In this episode I'm going to show you how I made this terrain for a Dungeons & Dragons game. Now this river of glass appears in one of our episodes in the podcast of the Ariana Saga. Our heroes come to a river of glass when suddenly it changes into an infinity portal of lost souls. Let me show you how I did it, guys. Now in this episode, I want to tell you how I created this thing, guys, step by step. So let's go to the forge.
There you are. It is time to bend the steel. Welcome to the forge.
Welcome to the forge, guys. In this episode I'm going to show you how I crafted this river of glass. Here you see something I bought at a dollar store. It is an infinity glass. It's an infinity mirror, actually. I have, of course, to change the batteries, which I am doing right now. Don't do this. This was a big mistake, guys. Don't do it. That's actually a very nice cover to have on it when you're painting the thing. So whatever you do, don't do that. First, you take a marker and you mark out the shape, like I do here. And then you mark how thick it is. This is in centimeters, because we use the metric system. And then I check out the height of it, because I want it to fit under the Proxon table. That is the machine I'm using. It's a Proxon, a wire cutter. And then I cut it. Oh, the feeling. Oh, so nice. Check the centimeters again, about 2 centimeters. That's the thickness of it. So here we are. I take this tin foil, crush it, and then I make some markings like rock. And push it on it, it makes it uneven, so it feels and looks like rock surface. Works very good. That's a mini cutter. My coffee, very important. Batman. And then I cut it out with this one. It's a little bit more handy than the big one. It's principle the same thing. Hot wire melts the EPS foam. Cut out the form and I put it inside, as you can see. Now, of course, you can create these mirrors yourself by using a mirror and one of these see-through mirrors that you use for tainted windows, and then an LED lamp inside. At this point, I am marking out the terrain. I make them 3 by 3. Both ways. I'm doing it like this because there's a hole in the middle, makes it easier for me to mark it out. So it is 3 by 3 centimeters, not inches. This is recorded in Copenhagen, Denmark, guys. So yeah, metric system. Then I take this blade, hobby knife, and I cut just the tip inside. I don't want to cut it open. I just want to cut the marks. So when it's painted, you'll see better the markings on it, or the squares. And then I take this barbecue stick and I put that through. You can also use a pencil. It's just to widen the gap so you can see the squares even better. Because if I just use the blade, it'll just be a thin line, and when I paint over it, you won't even notice. So that helps make it more rough. So the squares are more clearly seen. Un momento. Now it is time to seal the foam. The doctor is in. Mod Podge. You add a lot of paint inside. Mod Podge is very good. It seals it very nice. You add black paint to it, just so it becomes as dark as possible. So it's just black's just a very nice sealer. It's easier to paint on afterwards. Smear it nice and thick. The ratio with the paint is just put enough in until it is as black as possible. And I got this idea from Black Magic Craft. You should check it out, guys. His crafting channel is amazing. Now you go all around it with this. The paint, the brushes, is all just bought in a dollar store here in Copenhagen, Denmark. Søstrene Grene, it's called. Then I do this mixture, the DM Scotty method, with 50% water, 50% PVA glue, skolelim. And you can see now that the white all around it annoys me. And I need to seal that somehow. Doesn't look that good. But the fit is good. This is where the DM Scotty method comes in. I take toilet paper or TP. Just measuring out the size now. That's just water I'm spraying on. Make it easier to handle. Put this mirror on it, infinity mirror. And then I just mold it all around. There's nothing on the paper yet, it's just water. And then afterwards, I'm going to take the PVA glue, 50% water, 50% glue, skolelim, and I spray it on. Then it becomes hard. Kind of like a paper mache kind of thing. DM Scotty, the godfather of crafting, has a lot of tips and tricks with using this skill. You should check him out as well, guys. There we go. Roll it up. Trying to seal or hide the plastic covers. You can see at this point, if I left on the cover of the plastic on the glass when I paint it, it would be a nice protection for it. This is very stupid. Taking it off. Well, lesson learned. The mirror itself is also bought in a dollar store here in Copenhagen, Denmark. In something called Tia. Shake it up good. Then just pour it on. All the way around. Make sure you get it on everything. Of course, watch out so you don't stain the glass too much. Just have to wipe that off afterwards. For this to work, you have to get it on everywhere. Use a little rub on alcohol. In these corona times, there's a lot of disinfection around. Can be used for other things as well. nice and clean again. It looks good. Now, of course, now I've added this extra layer of paper mache kind of thing. That means that the size of it has become a little larger. Now, because I took off the sealing on the glass, I have to make a new cover. So I'm measuring out the size of this, cutting it out of this paper, so I can seal it anew. Which would have been a lot easier if I just left it on. Seal it up good. Here we go. Let it dry. Be back soon, guys. Now it's dry. Now we're gonna spray paint it black. And then we're going to paint it gray, guys. And add a little bit of water in it just to get a little bit thinner so it covers the surface even better. Don't be afraid to use a little bit of water to thin it out, guys. Just don't use too much. You can always add a little bit more paint in it again. This is just the first layer anyway, guys. And then we have the mirror dried. And paint that gray as well. The newspaper is still on the glass as I spray painted it, just to sheet it, protect it. And then we wait for it to dry. And then we are ready now to put another layer. Now it's time to dry brush it a little bit. Let's see first how well this fits. And then we are ready to glue it on with our hot glue gun. Push it inside while the glue is still hot. Of course, it's a little bit bigger now because I used the paper, so I have to smush it. And there has become a gap now where the batteries are. I will find a way to cover that up. Still lights. Very nice. Just make sure it's covering everywhere so I hold it tight while the glue is hardening. Then I fill in some of the gaps. Looks nice. How can I fix that gap? I'm thinking right there. Can you see it? I think I have an idea. I take this leftover XPS. This is actually very hard to get. I can't even get it here in Denmark, so I have to drive to Sweden to buy it. But it's worth it, guys. I love it. And then I cut it again. I love this feeling. Measure it up so it also can be 3 inches, 3 by 3. Not inches, centimeters. Sorry, guys. It's not the same thing. And also, now I cut it very softly, just to open it, not to cut it off. And then I use this barbecue stick again to widen the gap, as I did before. The tin foil to make some shapes like rocks so it becomes uneven. Just like I did with the build itself, to make it exactly the same way. Cut off a little of the extra material, glue it. Both sides. And hold it. when it just sticks, I add a little extra layer just to be sure that it's gonna stay there. Then I have to add the Mod Podge also on that one. It makes this XPS foam hardened. It seals it. It makes it so it can hold a longer time, and it can take miniatures walking on it and stuff like this. It's just the texture of the Mod Podge is excellent for this. Then I have glued some of the open cracks between it, and I just paint that as well. And add some of the Mod Podge on the paper mache as an extra sealant. Leave that to dry. Let's take a look, guys. Just the first layer of paint. Now the gray is just going onto the bridge. The same as the rest of the terrain. So now we have a full piece that is equal all the way around. And now we come to dry brushing. Now this is a lighter gray, as you can see. We're going to dry brush it. And when you dry brush it, you add paint to the brush and then you almost wipe everything off it again. Since this is the first layer of dry brush, I like that there's a little bit on it more than maybe most of the crafters do, because I am going to add another layer again of white where I almost wipe it completely off. This is just my preference, as you will see. Now as you dry brush, all the high points of the build will be highlighted with the lighter gray, which gives it excellent texture, as you'll see. Paint the corners, and then I go to the white. Now when I use the white, like I told you, I put very little on the brush and I almost completely wipe it off. That means that it's just the highest of peaks will be seen, highlighted even more. Now many crafters, when they make rock, they make a lot of different colors in it. Like DM Scotty, for example, red, brown. And I can understand why they do it, makes it more organic, but I don't know, I don't like it as much. I like it to keep it in the gray. Different variations or shades of gray. Well, time to remove the newspaper. Just peel off the leftovers, clean it up a bit. And then paint. There are some gaps, of course. This is just a fixer-upper, some touch-ups. Finishing the details. As you can see, now I have the small brush, a very thin one. Just lightly painting so I don't hit the mirror. Be careful for this, guys. Yeah. This is nice, if you ask me. You can tell me in the comments what you think, guys. Or how you would make it different. A portal of infinity. The river of glass. Nice. And down we go. So this is my build, guys. I hope you like it. I really want to show it to my players, and I will do that. And I want to show you actually the reactions when I show them this piece. Now this piece is going to be in one of the episodes of Nordic D&D, the Ariana Saga. And as I'm showing it to the fellows, this is actually us recording for that podcast. So let's go show them, guys. Hey guys, we're standing here playing Dungeons & Dragons for the Ariana Saga, and I just want to introduce my players. That's it?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm playing Peregrine von Rosenthal.
Yes, our cleric, and the Thor playing...
Hadarai, the elven monk, or half elven monk.
Cool. And my brother.
And I am playing Sovan, ASMR Warlock / Paladin.
Cool. I was describing for the players that they came to a room with a river shaped like a river, like this one. Creature standing by the river on this side over here. And it tried to frighten you, but you made the save so you didn't get frightened, and in a blink of an eye afterwards she disappeared.
Yeah.
So at this point you're out of initiative, but you're going to keep the initiative roll that we had before. Okay?
Okay.
But for the second you're out of it.
It's no combat.
I guess we are standing right here, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere at the entrance?
Yeah. The entrance is right there actually. So this is the door. So I don't know, Peregrine, what is your next move after you see him disappear?
Well, I will turn around and see if she's behind me. As she obviously isn't, I will just nervously shout down to the other guys. There's something in here. It's invisible, I think.
What's in there? What does it look like?
It was pale, female, I think. Didn't look too good. I don't know. Never seen such a creature before.
Just shouting to each other?
Yeah.
Or, well, not shouting, but like speaking loudly.
Yeah.
So you saw a pale female. You've never seen something like that before?
Well, do I have any idea what it was? Like any clue whatsoever?
It's hard to know, not specifically.
Okay.
It could be a number of things.
Yeah.
It was a female, as you said.
I'm gonna walk back, like defiantly. No, it wasn't a normal female. Okay, it was. I'm not even sure. It might have been, I don't know, a demon or
Yeah,
undead.
At this point,
Okay.
when you are walking out again you see this great, powerful light behind you, like blue, and the screams again, echoing from behind you, loudly, like thunder.
That might be her actually.
Okay. Well, Sovan races towards the sound.
Yeah. I will go towards the sound as well, but I mean, Soban seems determined, so I'm letting him pass, and then I'll follow him.
Okay. As
Towards
you come at
the
this point,
entrance.
where you see the once glassed river, you haven't seen it before.
Nope.
You see it. Peregrine, you were on his tail, right? Or did you just stand?
Just a couple of
Yeah.
behind him.
Where the light comes from. You see this creature standing again there, and then you see where the light comes from.
Oh, damn! Okay, that's it.
Nice.
And that is where the sound comes from, guys.
Oh, you continue on forever?
And as you enter that pool, you see actually pools of souls whirling around, and it comes out and up to it, and you see the soul take shapes, and you're now all in initiative.
Before that happens, I will just point towards her and behind you. I was like, yeah, that's right.
So hey guys, I just want to show you a little bit how we play and how the podcast is recorded. Be sure to listen to us on Nordic D&D, the Ariana Saga. And yeah, we'll maybe show you a little bit more next time. See you. That is all I have for this episode, guys. I just wanted to show you a little bit more of my crafting skills. I'll show you some of the terrain that we use in the Nordic D&D, the Ariana Saga podcast. Remember to listen to the podcast so you can hear the story about this river of glass and what happens in that encounter. Anyway, guys, I hope you had fun. It's always fun to craft. It's always fun to make your own terrain for Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you for today, guys. Bye. The strange disfigured woman. When suddenly this strange disfigured disfigured. Fuck. See you next week, dude. See you next week. Thank you, guys.
Random people somewhere.
See you next. What the